Hello everyone, I'm Priyanka Parmar, video producer at Femina. Welcome to the Virtual Beauty Carnival presented by FeminaXGrazia. For this session, we're going to be talking all about beauty trends. And joining us for this chat is none other than actor Neha Dhupia, who aces every metaphorical hat she wears in her professional and personal life, is never afraid to voice her opinions or stand for a cause she truly believes in, follows beauty trends, rocks them, but also knows when to defy them. Thank you so much for joining us today, Neha. It's a pleasure to be talking to you.
Thank you very much. It's very sweet of you to give me such a wonderful introduction. And I don't know if I stand for each one of the things that you said, but I try.
And it comes across, I mean, it's very evident that you do, which is why we believe that you do. Neha, how are you doing before I dive in with the questions?
I'm good. I'm busy. I've got, a newborn at home, and I've got a toddler, and, family's sort of something that keeps me busy all the time. And apart from that, I'm, also on a set right now. I'm on a film set. We've just had, lunch hour, and I'm here chatting with you. So I'm sometimes I feel like mentally there was a time that I would be at like multiple places, but now I see myself even physically being stretched so much between work and home and making time for myself that, I feel like I wish once in a while I could clone myself or my existence, which is great. I'm also feeling important. So that's a good thing.
That's incredible to you. It's not easy, doing so many things at once. When we are in it, I think we don't realize sometimes, but it's truly incredible what you're doing and managing the things that you are. But Neha, while all of these things are important and need your attention, like you said, you don't always have time for yourself, or, you need some clone of yours to take care of yourself at times. How do you manage to do that when it especially comes to beauty, how do you manage to do that?
For me, I think one of the things that I always fight for in my life is sleep. And I think beauty's got a lot to do with your mental state. And there are days that, I always feel like when I was even younger and, taking part in beauty pageants to now when I, there are days that I wake up and I feel that I'm not feeling great. I think the first measure or the first way of making yourself feel beautiful is to do something good. By that, I mean, just throwing in a workout and immediately you feel much better, or take a 15-minute nap and then suddenly you feel better. So for me, it's not so much the cosmetic part of it as much as it's, well-being and just maybe a little bit of self-love, pamper yourself somewhere, or just if nothing else, go for a swim, get some sun, and then you start feeling better. Like more than anything else, those are the beauty standards that I have for myself. Then hey, I don't feel good. So
yeah. I mean, that's also great on days, but I completely agree with, healing yourself or feeling beautiful on the inside and feeling great that way to then reflect on the outside. So Neha, talking about beauty and, beauty trends, what are the trends that you sort of foresee for 2022?
What are the trends that I foresee? I see a lot of color. So yeah, maybe if you're talking purely about makeup, I see, sort of fresh face with colored mouth kind of beauty trend. People experimenting with hair in a big way. And then I always feel that summer hair looks amazing. So, if you're going to throw in those highlights and get some beach waves going, it's a great kind of beauty trend if you had to get down to the technicalities of it.
Yeah, beach waves are always a hit, I feel. Okay, so Neha, what are the most popular, going back a little, what are the most popular beauty trends or striking beauty trends that you remember that you liked or followed when you were growing up? Is there anything like that?
Not really, actually. I'm actually the worst person to talk about beauty trends when I was growing up, because I wasn't into beauty in a big way. For me, it was all about skin, and so skin was always something that, you know, when I would see people with great skin, I was like, yes, I have to do everything to make sure that my skin is maintained all through. So that's one thing. I think just clear, sheen, nudie kind of skin is just beautiful. I always think that from the time that I was growing up to now, I think less is more, which is also beautiful because your features kind of stand out, and you know, not doing too much. I've never enjoyed like an over bronzed look or any of that. So you know, yeah, I'm that, or I've never enjoyed shimmer or glitter. So you know, just more sort of mattified kind of faces. Yeah, and then more than shine, the one thing that I prefer as far as makeup is concerned is glow. So you know, that's something that comes from inside, and you know, shine is something that is from the outside. So you know, we've got to break it down.
Yeah. That's true. And, you know, Neha, but beauty, like you said, and there is so much conversation around this. It's not just about what we put on our faces, right? It's not just about makeup. It's also a lot about how people perceive beauty and the idea of it. Do you think that sometimes, while trends can be fun, do you think they sort of distort our idea of real beauty? Because there's so much.
I really think so. And a huge example, which is changing now, and I'm really happy that's changing. And then, you know, too much of anything is or anything in excess is wrong, because sometimes I see a lot of people, especially when it sees on social media, just because, you know, it's your big day when you're getting married, it doesn't mean you need to like do so much, like be in a red outfit and then have excess you know, work done on the outfit, which is beautiful. So, you know, I feel like the outfit is doing so much, your face is doing so much, but then you don't have to have like matching eyeshadow and matching everything. So that needs to change when we get dressed. And that's one trend that I've seen off late, you know, even with brides, less is more. So that's the one thing that I really think that the idea of beauty is changing. And that's just like, you know, symbolic to makeup. And I feel like on their wedding day, every bride is beautiful, but sometimes you feel like I wish she'd done a little lesser, because on, you know, when it starts to fade away, the makeup, or when you see them the next day, you're like, okay, now you see the freshness and now you see the glow. So I'm so much about skin that is important. But yes, in many different brackets and many different aspects of life, the idea of beauty, or the definition of beauty, or sticking to a prototype of beauty is changing in many ways. So I'm happy to take this conversation forward, of course, led by your question.
Which is, and I completely agree. I also feel that maybe the younger generation is a little more accepting of the raw, real beauty. Do you think that's true? Or has it just always been there and now people are more exposed to it?
No, I just feel like they're the ones who are changing everything. And I feel like there's so much talk when it comes to social media. People use it so well now. So, you know, and it's so like when you're talking about the raw beauty, or, you know, of course, there are cosmetic giants who also make makeup and you know, kind of getting dressed, and there's a whole world out there that makes that also look extremely aspirational, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's also this beautiful side about beauty, where people are embracing who they are, embracing the bodies that they are in, embracing the skin that they have. So I just feel like in fact, let's reverse that. I feel, you know, keeping beauty as a subject, the idea of being flawed is diminishing, which means everything is beautiful. And that's what's amazing.
That's very well put. And we recently did, you know, our March issue was also around that, of how every woman is perfect. You can't call something an imperfection, because everything, beauty has its own definition for everyone, right? So I completely agree with you on that front. Like you said, Neha, that you're not so much into makeup or, you know, following those trends, but still there is so much information out there, right? And you are a public figure. you have to sort of keep up the appearances at times, and be like when you make a public appearance of sorts. So how much of it do you take into consideration, like the trends and what's going viral, or how do you pick and choose on what you want to be a part of or you want to take up?
I feel like, I mean, I also come from a place of experience. Like I've been facing the camera for almost 2 decades. So I
Yeah.
know the number of times I've gone wrong. I know the number of times I can go wrong. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't work for me. I know my angles. But at the same time, you also have experts who come and teach you new things. And I'm totally open to that.
True.
Sometimes I see, people, the newer, younger people coming and doing some cool stuff. And I'm like, okay, let me try it out. And sometimes when I try it out, I look really silly trying it out. And sometimes when I try it out, I'm like, okay, this is great. Maybe I need to get like a newer, younger, fresher feel to what I do. And it's also very easy to get stuck or get caught up in what you think is the idea of what's right. So if somebody's used to straight hair and dark eyes and light mouth, then you continue doing that. I feel the thing about makeup or things that are there in the market is to constantly experiment. You will go wrong, but you'll go right as well. So just be open to it. And that's the person I am. I'm totally open to experimenting.
Okay. And can you tell me one beauty trend, that you just tried for fun, but is now a part of your beauty routine or regime? Is there anything like that, a hack or a trick, something you picked up out of the trends?
I mean, I'm a big one on like tints. So I love putting tints. And then, I still remember that once I put a tint on my cheek, and then, I put it on my lip, and I was like, okay, I'm good to go. And then there was this one time that literally I had nothing because, I have my daughter. She's obsessed with makeup. She's almost 3.5. She scrambles through my bag, and then, she can reach my bag. And then suddenly I feel like I packed my bag. And right now, just recently this happened. I thought I'd packed my bag. We were going on a flight, and I opened my bag, and I'm like, half the things are not there. So I asked her, I call her Meronisa. I'm like, Meronisa, did you put my stuff somewhere? She said, yes, Mama, I left the bag on the bed. So she's left the entire thing that I needed in Delhi on the bed. And I'm like, this was in Bombay. And then I'm like, what do you do? So I still remember I had just an eyebrow pencil and a lip tint and a mascara. And I remember going for this whole thing, which just I used the eyebrow pencil here, and then I used it to line my eyes, and then I used the mascara, and then I used the tint here, and then I used the tint here, and then I used a little bit of tint here, and then it was looking like a done-up face. So I'm just saying that it's like when you don't have too many options is when you learn hacks. And that's what I did.
That's great. And that's such a sweet anecdote from your daughter. So,
thank you.
Neha, I would like to, talk to you about motherhood and beauty too. Like, how do you manage that, or how do you have to live up to the certain expectation of, especially since you're a public figure, there is a certain expectation, like I said earlier as well, of you to turn up looking fresh and dewy and ready for the evening every time you step out. So how do you sort of balance that for yourself? Like, okay, I don't need to make an effort for this meal.
I mean, the way to balance it for me, most importantly, is of course the fact that that we do have experts who work on us. There's no doubt about that. We do have a great makeup person. We do have a great hairstylist on most days. Like I'm on a set right now, and I've got this done, and I'm sitting. So that's one thing. But excuse me. But that's one thing. But on most days, it's not like when you wake up in the morning, you have a whole team of people getting you dressed. So I think the larger part about managing that is to have quick, easy hacks. And the biggest part about managing that is embracing yourself, that this is who I am and this is what I look like. And I'm a mother of 2 and I have little time and I'm comfortable in the body I'm in. I'm comfortable with the way I look. And then, of course, as a woman, I know how to clean up well and show up. But do I pressurize myself, or am I in that stage? Like there was a time when, okay, let's do this eyeliner, or let's do this hair, or let's do this makeup, or let's get this costume. With high pressure for me. I don't take that anymore. Like it's almost like this is what I had. I quickly switched up a few accessories, and I've come and sat here. I can't expend energy on thinking about looking a kind of beautiful all day, because that takes away from the person I am. A, I'm not that person, and B, I'm not here to be put in a box live up to anybody's expectations.
Correct.
Having said that, I'm not offending anyone. I am the person I am, and I want to be able to look good for myself and charming for others, because that makes me happy. So there could be a time when I'm going out to work and I'm expected to look a certain way, or on a film set I have a certain role, so I'll do that. If I'm traveling, that's my go-to makeup, I do that. And sometimes I want to go overboard, like for something as simple or as wonderful as a date with my husband, so I'll do that. So I define who I am.
That's a great way to put it. Is that something that you would suggest all moms or mothers, who are also dealing with, they might not be public figures, but still dealing with the expectation of beauty?
I don't know if I'd suggest that to everyone else, but I definitely give this advice to my 20-year-old self, which I now feel like I should have, because I think I spent too much time worrying about what shade of brown the lipstick should be. Whereas it's not important, and it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. So before I let you go, Neha, I have 2 small questions left. What is the one beauty trend that you find to be like absolutely ridiculous and that you would never try?
What's absolutely ridiculous and I would never try?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like weird color mouths. Like, I don't find, ridiculous is not the right word, but something that I would not try would be like, unless it's a fashion shoot or something, I wouldn't rock up with like weird color mouths, like purple and green and stuff. Never.
Okay. All right. And what is the one myth about beauty that you wish people would stop believing entirely?
And everything you see in beauty magazines is true. None of it is true. Don't model yourself on that.
Okay. Great, Neha. Thank you so much for taking your time out and doing this. It was great chatting with you, and I'm looking forward to the next time we can do this. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. All the best. Bye.
Bye-bye.